Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
It felt like a heat wave passed through the valley over the weekend, and it looks like mostly good things to come as everyone will start to head out for their holiday travels. Let's check in with Nathan for a look at your forecast with our No-Wait weather. Nathan?
Yeah, Katie, things were looking pretty good today. We do have some clouds around, but those aren't really causing too many concerns for us if we're either out doing some last-minute shopping or traveling for our Christmas Eve on satellite radar. Just showing clouds at this time, no precipitation falling from any of those clouds, so we are dry here at the surface. But notice the temperatures are below that freezing point up into the lower to middle teens in the northern valley. So any melting we got over the weekend has likely refrozen, so that could cause some slippery spots on some side roads, and that's really the main impact or concern we have for us as we're going through this evening. If you are traveling, airports across the region look good. Minimal delays at all of the regional airports, including Minneapolis and Chicago and Denver, as well as the big picture shows really not too much going on across the country in the weather department, which again is good news for those holiday travelers. So I expect temperatures to stay mild for us here in Fargo as we go through the next few hours. Southeast winds will keep us somewhat mild for this time of year. The average high for this time of year is 20 degrees. We'll be in the mid-20s as we go through this evening. In Fargo, in those low 20s to around 20 in Grand Forks for this evening. Now, of course, Katie, I know a lot of people are out and about either shopping or traveling, so we'll break down what we can expect for those Christmas travelers with perhaps a snowmaker moving through the region. I'll break that down for you coming up in a couple minutes.
All right, well, thank you, Nathan.
You bet.
And later on in the newscast, we will also check to see what travel conditions look like across the nation. New at 5, the 16-year-old girl who was airlifted to a Fargo hospital after the school bus she was riding in was hit by a train in Lidgerwood, North Dakota, will be home for the holidays. Her father says she suffered a broken collarbone, 2 broken vertebrae, a cut on her temple that required 30 stitches, and a concussion. A construction worker has died after falling 20 feet through a skylight covered in snow near Henning, Minnesota. 63-year-old David Brutlag fell last week while working on a building in Otter Tail County. People on scene performed CPR to try and save him, but he was eventually taken to the Tri-County Health Care in Wadena, where he was pronounced dead. The Minnesota State Patrol has identified the victim in a deadly crash in Beltrami County. 61-year-old Francine Harmon from Bemidji was killed after her car was hit by a coach bus when 48-year-old Jeffrey Sell from Thief River Falls ran a red light. The crash happened on Friday just after noon. The incident is under investigation and will be turned over to the county attorney, who will decide if any charges will be pressed. A community is reeling after 2 brothers died and a child is in the hospital after an accident on a grain silo. Lou Ragu has the story.
It's common in rural areas for first responders to know the people they're trying to save.
Your heart just sinks. You know what you're going to go into.
Troy Becker and Rodney Roars of the volunteer Millerville Fire Department were sent out Saturday to try to save their own.
And when you're driving out there, you're just hoping and praying that this is a false alarm or something that'd be easily remedied. But I was first on the scene, and when I saw the situation, my heart sank.
The farm on Gravel Pit Road in Douglas County belongs to Kurt Basil, the Millerville Assistant Fire Chief. Basil and his 12-year-old son Alex passed out atop a silo holding high-moisture corn. The fermenting process creates a gas, commonly known as silo gas, that had escaped.
Everybody in the farming community knows how deadly those silos can be.
Another son outside the silo called 911.
The son also called his uncle, Steve Basil, who went into the silo and tried to get the father and son out. But Steve, too, was overcome by the fumes.
This is our friends, our teammates on the fire department. It's really hard.
Steve Basil was a former member of the fire department, too. Both Steve and Kurt were known as loving, hard workers. They both leave behind large families, well known across the community. Their firefighter brothers rescued 12-year-old Alex, who was airlifted to Children's Hospital in Minneapolis.
If somebody wants to pray for Alex out there, we invite them to, because he's a special little guy. We're looking for a Christmas miracle with Alex.
Lou Ragus, KVLY 11 News.
Sheriff's deputies say Steven died at the scene and Kurt died yesterday at the hospital. The condition of Kurt's son Alex is not being released. The Cass County Sheriff's Department is investigating after an alleged assault broke out Sunday afternoon, all because of a snowmobiling trail in Horace. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley has been following the story, and she joins us live in the studio with the very latest. Bailey?
Katie, that's right. It all started just about a week ago. This posted to Nextdoor claiming a man had shut down the snowmobile trail in Horace and that it was posing some serious safety concerns for riders. Now, the post went on to claim that the homeowner along the trail had piled up snow to block snowmobile riders from driving through his property, something the Cass County Sheriff's Department says isn't criminal, but did make them concerned for public safety. The railroad just next to the trail asked the homeowner not to have any snow piles on their property, and the sheriff's office says between that and a petition made by riders, the homeowners plan to fix the piles of snow yesterday. But that's when things took a turn for the worst. Posted to Facebook Sunday evening, a snowmobile rider claims as he was taking videos of the homeowner moving snow on the trail, it became confrontational, saying the homeowner grabbed the rider's arm, slammed his hand, and destroyed his phone, claiming the homeowner also headbutted another rider that same day. Now, Cass County says they were called to the scene just after 2 yesterday afternoon. And while neither party has officially been charged yet, reports have been sent to the state's attorney's office with recommendations of simple assault, criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct charges. Katie?
Thank you, Bailey. Cass County officials say up until yesterday, the office was only involved to help mediate the situation and to help make sure that no one was hurt. Santa made an appearance on ham radios across the U.S. this weekend. Both kids and those young at heart around the country could tune in and ask him questions. Stella Porter got to talk with the Jolly Man himself and has the story.
You probably don't really like mermaids or unicorns, do you?
I do like unicorns.
This is the 4th year that Wood County's Amateur Radio Club has brought Santa to kids here in Wisconsin Rapids.
And thought this would be an opportunity where kids could actually talk to Santa without having face-to-face contact, which sometimes makes them very nervous.
They're able to talk to Santa using a ham radio, an amateur radio that uses the internet with about 700,000 licensed operators in the U.S. It's one way to communicate in emergency situations, so events like this are good practice.
And we use it to help practice the passing of information on the air, formal information and informal information.
A little girl in New Jersey was able to call in.
What kind of TV do you want, Santa?
Kids who come to the VFW on Saturday are able to fill out a sheet giving some information to Santa. Then Myron actually pages Santa on this ham radio.
Depending on their age, usually you'll see the eyes kind of perk up and start to bulge out a little bit, and you get the surprised look when Santa actually talks back to them, knows them by name.
Even if you're only young at heart.
Good afternoon, Santa.
Santa is actually based pretty close to the North Pole. He's a member of the local ham radio club who's currently in Alaska, making dreams young and old come true.
I would ask for a new SUV for Christmas, but that would be being greedy.
In Wisconsin Rapids, Stella Porter.
For those of you anxiously awaiting the big man's arrival, the NORAD Santa Tracker will be going online at midnight so you can see exactly where Santa is through Christmas Eve. And OnStar subscribers have another way to keep track of St. Nick. OnStar advisors will provide Santa's location based on NORAD's official map. Santa update calls can be made anytime between 6 a.m. on Christmas Eve through 5 a.m. Eastern Time on Christmas morning. And for each push of the OnStar blue button during that time frame, a $1 donation will be made by Chevrolet and OnStar to the American Red Cross. Remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. Still ahead tonight, the race is on to see who will face against President Donald Trump in 2020.
And we have quite a spread of temperatures across the region here. 30 right now in Watertown, but 12 right now for our friends in Grand Forks. And I do expect that mild air to stick with us through the night tonight. I'll break down your holiday travel forecast next.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are. whenever you need to know. Valley News Live.